Whoa. Ultimate chaos. That was maybe the best match. It was not fully competitive, but see, when you see 5-4, you think that both teams were close when it comes to the standards that were displayed in the match. No. Spain are a far much better team than France. France have better individuals, as you can see from a lineup which we'll take a look at now, but Spain are the better team. Now, just before the match started, of course, an hour before the match started, the lineups were out, and I had to go through the lineups and try to see what I could analyze. And I from the beginning, I could tell that, individually, the people, individually, you would say that France were on a roll. I mean, you have Mbappe, leading goal scorer, debut season, wonderful with Real Madrid. You have Ballon d'Or contender, Ousmane Dembele from PSG, just won the Champions League less than a week ago, so you know he's on form. You have Doué, young player of the tournament, player of the match against Inter Milan. This guy destroyed Inter Milan. Doué, 19-year-olds. Now there's that talk. Hey, he's in the Ballon d'Or conversation. Then you have Olise from Bayern Munich. Great debut season for him also in Bayern Munich. This was a super stacked attack. But this was where France started having problem. I had a problem with Rabiot. I mean, come on, man. It's been a while. We know his issues with Juventus, going back and forth. There was that man you call at one particular point in time. But club form and everything, is he the man to be here? And then there's also Kone. This was also where I was measuring. You know, I started having a problem from here. Now, Saliba, of course, who is the first choice for France at this particular moment, was not in the match. I would go for normally a Saliba-Konate defense. But Saliba was not available. Upamecano was also not available. And then you had this guy coming back. What on earth? And his very low rating was well justified. Langley, I don't know what Lenormand could have started this match, but the people that you'd blame most for this performance will be Langley and Kalulu. Terrible performances from both of them. Hernandez did quite well. He had early chances. I'll tell you the tale of the match, how he progressed. Hernandez had early chances to score because he's always a defender who would bomb forward. He had chances to score, but he could not take it. And of course, Konate was just left there. Mike Magnon, Chelsea fans, you're looking at your latest goalkeeper. He conceded 5 goals against Spain. Is he the goalkeeper for you? Well, that we'll get to see as the transfer window progresses, because Chelsea are interested in Mike Magnon, but he conceded 5 goals, maybe 1 or 2 his fault, but they were run over by this excellent Spanish team. The individuals here are not as, loud as those in France. Like, I mean, you had also Oyarzabal, come on. Some people will be wondering who is Oyarzabal. But the thing about them, of course, they had star boy Yamal. There's that call. 17-year-old, soon be 18, Ballon d'Or shout. Is he the man for the Ballon d'Or? That's a discussion for another day. But prior to this time, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, a few days to this game, Yamal made mention of if this match will be a deciding factor for the Ballon d'Or, then he will show it. Of course, he implied that if himself and Dembele were going to go for the award, this match will be a decider. And Lamine Yamal showed himself 2 goals there for this star boy. Great performance, man of the match. So Yamal there with that great performance. Nico Williams, of course, with that goal earlier on. For me, Nico Williams, when it comes to the Spanish national team, dude is excellent. He had that chance to move to Barcelona, but he did not move. He should have moved, and I think that with him and Yamal. But Rafinha, who is also a shout for the Ballon d'Or, that's in Barcelona, really had a wonderful season. But Nico Williams with the national team, great guy, of course. What else can we say about Pedri? I would also say, because of the bias that football has for attacking players, this should also be a Ballon d'Or shout, but that's a discussion for another day. Arsenal, their latest player, or the player that they are vying for to start the season will be Zubimendi, great performance. But this man, think about it, that Arsenal's midfield will be Spanish midfield. Merino, you saw that run into for that goal. There's something about this guy. Midfielder with the instincts of a striker. I would liken him to Bellingham in that mode. That means that they can do those late runs into the box and get those balls in. They have that instinct that a 9 would have. That's why I would liken him to Jude Bellingham. So great player, Merino. And then, of course, Lenormand, Hussein. Oh, I mentioned Lenormand for you. That was a mistake. Lenormand, Hussein, who, of course, the new Real Madrid signee, of course, and Chelsea fans, yeah. There's some problems. He can be a bit rash. That's talking about Cucurella. But Unai Simon there, and of course Poro. Now, if I wanted to go through the tail of the tape when it comes to this match, right? Talking about the tail of the tape when it comes to this match, I would look at the bench. They had a very stacked bench. That's talking about France. I mean, you still had Balde, Bakola, Rancheki, who will be going to Manchester City. There was Digne, there was Guendouzi. You know, all of them were there. But looking at the tail of the match, let me just use this to round up. That's talking about how this match went, the summary. Now, I think as at the time when they went 4-0 up, they started making the changes. And that was where things changed. I mean, by the time Dani Olmo came in, Ruiz came in, and of course, Samu and Vivian came in, that's where the match changed. And so it was a substitute. If it was, I think they thought that match, and so it swung. The first half started well with France. France didn't take their chances, and then, of course, Spain took their chances, went 4-0 ahead. They came back 4-1 because of those changes. But, of course, Rancheki was the man after he came in. So is this a final test of how strong the teams are by the time they get into the World Cup? We're not very sure. But I would say that as a team, Spain are one of the best teams, or maybe the best team in world football, and it will take a very hard time to take them down. Well, that's the size of all we have on the Beautiful Game. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Saturday. The Beautiful Game will have more time to analyze this match and talk about what went down, what went wrong, and how one of the most chaotic matches in recent history went down. And that's it for today. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. There's still more to come on the show.